camera down yet? Come on. Give it a sniff. Oh, come on. That looks like a good one. Oh, he was all over it. Come on. Oh, he's gonna bite. There he is. Oh, we got off. Oh man, come on. That was a good fish. Haven't even hardly got set up yet. Oh shoot. There's a fish. Ooh, this one's coming up a little more aggressive. Oh, he bit. And I was too late, but I didn't sting him. He might be back. Oh, he's on the dead stick. On the dead stick. Oh, come on. Nope, back over here. Another one coming off to the side. I need to get that underwater camera down there, see if it's light enough yet. Shoot. Ooh, this one's coming in hot. This one's coming in hot. Come on. There he is. There he is. What do we got? Doesn't feel big. Not nearly like that first one. But we have a good eater-sized walleye. Awesome. So there we go. Probably about a 14, 15 incher. Super awesome fish. I'm going to keep this one. So one of the things I want to do today is try to get some cool underwater footage. It's a little bit dark down there to get the camera down, so I just have the Livescope running right now. I'll show you what I'm using here in just a little bit. Where we're kind of set up today is kind of a neat area. We're in a little bit deeper water. We're in about 28 to 30 feet. And we're actually in a little bit of a saddle in between two humps. I really like this area. The fish seem to cruise through here. But one of the things I really like is this summer when I was out here driving around with my side imaging, what I saw was there's this area of sand right underneath us. I'll show you here with the underwater camera. And there's this kind of sand grass all around it. And one thing that I noticed from this summer, these fish, they would actually sit on this sand and just kind of hang out. These would be the areas that they would tend to school up in, tend to kind of hang around in. I really like the area that we're set up. We're kind of right in the middle of this sand. Hopefully that way they can cruise through and they can see our bait from a long ways away. And it's also a little bit easier to see on the underwater camera when you have that sand as the backdrop instead of that dark grass. We'll set up, we'll keep rolling. We have some fish cruising down there already. Once it gets light enough, I'll get the underwater camera set up and we will see what we can get for footage. There's a good fish. It's a pike. It's a pike. Here we go. You can see him coming up on the Livescope. Oh boy, he's gonna have both my lines tangled, I think. There he is. So cool when you can see him underneath the ice. Yeah, he's got both my lines tangled. Get his head up through that hole. There we go. Yeah, he's got both my lines. Oh, there's another fish down there. Come on. Need to get this line untangled. Oh, that one's a walleye. That one's a walleye. Come on. I'll show you this fish so I can get it back down. Pike, fun to watch eat. See if I can figure out what is that. I don't know if you can see that. There's another fish coming. I don't know if you guys can see it. I don't know what that is. If that's that pike, that definitely looks like maybe that pike. That is so crazy. Oh, it's a walleye. I can see him up over there. There, that pike took off. I didn't get to see him leave. That was so bizarre. I don't know if that's what happens when they get barrel drawn, but you saw that thing was just nose down. If anybody does know the reason for that, feel free to let me know. I'd love to learn about that. I'm going to kind of check around and ask around. That was so crazy. I'm about 29 feet, brought that fish up maybe a little bit too quickly, but you can see that was just nose down. I have no idea what it was doing, if it was just kind of regrouping. Like I said, I'll have to check the footage to see if I can see when it took off, but man, it seemed like it was almost stunned a little bit, kind of needed a chance to regroup before it took off. But that is so bizarre. I have never seen that before. Hope that fish survives. And that's one of the things I think we don't understand a lot of times about deep water, and even I don't understand all the time, is how deep is too deep, how the barrel trauma affects them. But you can see that one kicked off just fine, got down to bottom, and then it kind of just sat there. Very interesting to see. Definitely something I'm going to look into a little bit more, see if I can figure out what happened there. Looks like a good fish. Try to jig it up. What is that? How could I not see that? Oh. What do we got? It's a pike looking right at the camera. It's more interested in the camera than it is at the bait. Oh no, I'm not even recording. Oh, I just started recording. That pike was more interested in the camera. It literally just took a bite out of it. I know I didn't record in time. Oh, there's another fish coming in behind. Oh, what's this one? Oh, that one's a walleye. Pike came in and bit the camera. Oh, but I didn't have it recording, of course. That walleye maybe making a little turn. I actually can still see that pike on the Livescope. I was wondering why I couldn't see that pike, and the reason was because it was biting the camera. You can still see that walleye hanging out to the side. Oh, now there's something coming up underneath. Oh, there's that pike again. I don't know if he's gonna grab my dead stick. I might be in trouble. Oh, I like that. Nope, coming after my... It's a decent sized pike. Didn't want it. He's hanging on in the area though, so he might come back. I don't know if it's the same one. Oh, come on. Come on. It's always nice when they're pointing up like that. Oh, I want to still get him in the frame. Oh, he nosed it. He nosed it. Oh man, he knows it's there. So cool to see. There he is. Not a giant. Man, that kind of that falling action. There we go. Awesome fish. And that time it took that little bit of falling action, kind of went right back down with it. So cool. And I'm actually going to keep a couple to eat. And this one is probably around that 15, 16, just a perfect eater. So I'm going to show you a few of the settings that I will typically kind of mess around with to see if I can get a clearer image, and a lot of it is just trial and error. I don't have anything necessarily dialed in as far as if you're in dirty water, try this, clear water, try this, because it hasn't seemed to be super consistent. So I'll show you a few of the ones that I like to mess with, see if we can get any sort of clearer picture. We have a pretty good idea of what's going on there down there right now, but see if we can get that any clearer, clean up some of that clutter, those kinds of things. One of the first ones that I like to do has to do with my gain. So you go to menu and you go to gain right here. I have it on auto high because we're in a little bit deeper water. You can see if I go to auto medium, or you can kind of move that up and down as you would like. If you go a little higher, it gets a little bit murky. It seems like auto high for this depth has been pretty solid. The next thing that I will go and do, head back to the menu again, is I will go to Sonar Setup. And sometimes you can go to your appearance, you can change your color scheme, but another one is the color gain. So if you go down with that, it just kind of shrinks that up, get rid of a little bit of that gain. So if you go down and up, you can kind of see how it adjusts it. You can kind of feel out what is best for you. A lot of times default does okay. I like to have it up a little bit more at this spot specifically. So I'm going to bring it up to around that 80%, and that seems to be working pretty well. Another thing that I like to do is, depending on your area, a lot of times I'll have TVG off. I have heard of guys when you are in deeper water to put it on high, but I haven't had as good of luck with that. I like to keep it off. That seems to give you my most clear picture with being able to see my bait still. Another thing that I like to do when I go to Sonar Setup, you go to Noise Reject. I almost always have that on high. If you have it on low, you can see it gets a little more clutter on there, but most often I have that on high. You can still see your baits fairly well, but it kind of cleans up the screen a little bit. So those are some of the settings that I mess with as I go from spot to spot, especially from lake to lake. Just try to get the clearest picture possible, depending on the area that I'm fishing. Oh, is he going to be interested in the dead stick maybe? Just staring at it. Come on. If he bites that thing, it's going to be a wild ride. Just staring at it. Is he finally going to go after it? Coming at it a little bit of a downward angle. Oh. Oh, come on. Ooh, that minnow might do the work for me. You can see that minnow freaking out. He's going to turn around and size it up maybe. Man, even that pike is just not very aggressive as a minnow just staring in its face. Did come up and poke at it once. Looks like a nice fish though. Another fish coming in behind. Not sure what that one is. That one looks a little bit more like a walleye. Maybe see a white tip on it. So that'll be okay if that pike doesn't bite for that walleye's sake. See if we can get that walleye coming in. Man, definitely fish down here. Can I still see that pike a little bit too? Or is that a new fish? I don't know. I think that looks like that pike. Again, like I said, I think that's our answer. not seeing a lot of fish down there that are very aggressive, that are looking to eat. So I think we are going to pack up. It was a fun morning, saw a lot of fish, but this is what I tell people all the time. With all the electronics in the world, you can find fish, you can stay on fish much easier, but you can't make them bite. You always give yourself a better chance having some of these electronics, being able to find and stay on these fish. It was so much fun seeing these fish cruise through on both the camera and the Livescope. It was interesting to see when you could see them on the camera and you couldn't on the Livescope, or vice versa. They definitely each have a role depending on what you're doing, and I know not everybody is lucky enough to have one or both of these, but I just wanted to showcase a little bit of what they can do. But yeah, super fun morning. Hope you enjoyed seeing all the footage, both on the underwater camera and on the Livescope. You know, it would have been fun to have some of these fish eat, especially on some of the size of these fish. It's just so cool to see their mannerisms. I learned a lot. I hope you learned a lot. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm planning on doing at least a few more videos throughout this winter, so hopefully we will see you soon.